Hi there! Welcome back to the DutchRC channel. Thanks for tuning in. And what am I going to show you today? I was hoping I would be able to show you flight footage of some planes I've built recently, but it's stormy weather and now and again it's raining cats and dogs, so not really nice weather to go out and fly things. So I'm going to do a bench build today, and what I'm going to be building, it's a remote controlled switch, and with this switch I'll be able to switch on and off all kinds of things, so water pumps, LEDs, horns, all kinds of stuff, for instance for a boat or a plane. And yes, you can buy these ready-made from Graupner, Hobby King, but I always like to build stuff, especially if it costs next to nothing. And okay, I've got some things laid out here on the bench that'll be used for this build. I've got a spare scrap piece of plastic. And this is too big at the moment, but I'll trim it off once the switch is done. And of course I'll be using a servo. It's a scrap servo that I won't be using for anything, so that costs really nothing. I've got a spare piece of copper wire, and I've got two GST connectors. I'm sure you are familiar with these kinds of connectors, one male and one female, and with wires already attached. Yay, that's convenient. And I've got a short piece of copper tube. You can use any kind of copper. And here I have a scrap piece of shrink tube. What you also see here is a LED strip, which I will be using to test the rig. Alright, let's get building with this thing. Now, the very first thing I should see if what the range of motion of this servo is, and if I have to adjust the servo arm. For this, I've got my transmitter here. I'll switch that on. I've got a receiver with a ESC, just any ESC connected to it, and I'll hook up this servo to what? Channel 5? Yeah, channel 5, that's okay. Doesn't really matter. Okay, channel 5. And I'll hook up the ESC to a LiPo, so everything will be powered up. There we go. Now let's see if the servo does anything at all. Yes, it does. And okay, I'll be putting the servo on the plastic like this. Okay, I hope you can see that. And if I move it, it moves the opposite of what I wanted to be moving towards. So I will reverse this channel. Up. Okay. Yeah. Now it's okay. Now, what I will want to do is attach a piece of wire to this arm and have the arm slap the wire onto the copper tube. And basically I'm making a relay switch this way. But as you can see, the arm is far from reaching the surface at the moment, so I'll disattach the servo arm. Okay, screw is out, arm is off, and let's see how far it will reach this way. Too far. Okay, one step back. That's good enough. Okay. Screw goes back in. It's the wrong size of screw. The screw itself is also scrap, but it'll do the job. If I can get it in. There we go. Okay, does this still move? Yep. Okay, if I fasten this servo on the board like this and I switch it, it'll be almost level with the board. That's good enough. Okay, and then I'll just disattach everything of the electronics. There we go. Transmitter off. And this out of the way, this out of the way. There. Okay. Okay, well I can go ahead and fasten this servo to the board. I'll pause the video for just a second to switch on my hot glue gun. Okay, and we're back with the magic of YouTube. I now have a hot glue gun, and I'm gonna put a dab of hot glue on this servo here. There we go, that should be more than enough. And I'm gonna position my servo. It doesn't really matter what the position is. Okay, there we go. Servo is on. Okay. Okay, and well, what's next? I'm gonna be putting a piece of wire on this servo arm, of which the screw is not fastened far enough, I see. Now, come on. Okay, good enough. And okay, how much of this wire will I be using? I think that should do just fine. Okay, clip that off. There we go. And okay, now I'll be soldering up one piece of wire to this wire. So let me strip down the end. There. There we go. That's a bit long, it doesn't really matter. Okay, now one piece of one of these wires will attach to this thicker cord, and I'll be soldering that up right now. Doesn't matter which, it's all good. Okay, soldering iron is already warm. Needs to be a little warmer. There we go. Okay, pre-tin this wire. There we go, that's soaking in there really nice. Okay, there we go. And next thing I could do is what am I going to be doing here? Yeah, I'm going to attach two of the wires coming out of the GST connectors as well. I'll just coil them in to one another, and I'll put some shrink tube on that later, of course. Okay, put some solder on this. There, great. Okay, and well, now that I'm soldering, I can also attach the other wire to my copper tube, and let me in fact get a third hand for that. No, that's not gonna work. That's just fine. Okay. Put some solder on this copper. There. And put my other wire into that solder. Okay. A little more. This is not really needed for the connection, but just if there's tension on the wire. Okay, that's very nice. And drop that out. What's next? I could, if that fits, put a little shrink tube around this. Ow, still warm. Nah, doesn't fit. Alright, doesn't matter. Okay, well, in fact that's most of the soldering done then. I'm going to now be attaching this piece of wire to the servo arm. And okay, clip the end off, it's a little long. There, and strip the covering of the wire. Will this come off it in one piece? That's a bit of a stretch right there. Yeah, gotcha, motherfucker. Okay. Okay, now I have a piece of wire hanging loose, and if I put shrink tube around that, and put it on the servo arm, okay, this is a loose fit at the moment. But this way I can show you what the idea of the entire thing is. Okay, once again I'll attach it to my receiver. There, transmitter on, LiPo on. Okay, and now if I flip the switch, the wire will go down. How's that? And if I put the copper tube under it, this will make a short circuit. to have a little more room for my wires, I'll probably attach it this way. Doesn't really matter. Okay, great. To make sure this all stays together, I put a dab of CA glue on the control horn. Okay, it's off again. CA glue. There we go. Just a tiny bit, of course, more than enough. And put the wire with shrink tube back on. There we go. Shrink the shrink tube, that's what it's made for, of course. And that'll be a nice tight hold on this wire. There we go. Ooh, it's a little warm. Okay. Okay. Test it again. And actually, what I could do is first test if my LED strip here is working. It's also a scrap piece, so you never know. And yay, works. And if I attach everything, I'll have one of two things. I have a fire or a working switch. Okay, now I'm gonna be attaching this small little LiPo that I first used to test the LEDs. Now I'm going to be using attaching it to my wire harness on the switch, of course. Okay, and like this nothing happens. And if I put the strip over here and switch it on, I don't have anything yet. Let me see where my connection is bad. Just a second. And we're back. Okay, sorry about that. One of my GST connectors had come loose. I fixed that now, and now if I slap the wire onto the copper tube, there. Now I have a functioning switch. Okay, that is very nice, of course. And what shall we do next? I'll disconnect this here, and I'll be gluing on this copper tube onto the board. Let me see what the correct position should be. That's just fine. It's gonna be there. Okay. Put a dab of hot glue right there. There we go. And I'll put the copper tube right in there. Okay, I've used a little much hot glue, but who cares really? Okay, test things once more. There we go. Connector gone bad again. Oh, not the wire. Should be bent a little down. Okay. Okay. There we go. Well, that's it really. Of course I'm gonna tidy up these wires and make a nice case around it, but as you can see, you can make a completely usable switch with scrap pieces, and If you are wondering if this is a fire hazard, because it will spark a little. If you only use this for instance for lights, it'll be just fine. It's so little current, nothing will happen. Okay, hope this was useful or entertaining for you, and see you back in the next video. Bye bye bye.